going on? This is Mark Walton, aka Maceo, or Maceo the Grammar God. And I'm here to represent one half of the Searching for Clair Huxtable podcast team.
Kari Frazier, also known as Way, working at Excellence, right here at Detroit's different studios. Clair Huxtable, to me as a child, was the mom on the Cosby Show. And that meant a whole lot. Being the mom on the Cosby Show, it really represented the woman that we were looking for in our lives. We grew up with that idea and that vision of this is somebody that's fun, somebody that's cool, somebody you can hang out with, someone you can communicate with, and then keep you on your P's and Q's in the sense that that's a professional woman. She's also extremely attractive. She carries herself well. She dresses very much so like a professional woman. You know, you also had Jack A on 227 that was like, okay, she's probably about that party life. But you have Clair Huxtable as a woman holding it down, keeping it together, and engaging the family on a heck of a level. And that, in the household of a black family that grew up with both my parents, it was a representation somewhat like what my family was as a child.
In the late 70s, it seems like sitcoms kind of tapered off. Black sitcoms or black families being represented in sitcoms kind of tapered off. So it wasn't until the mid to late 80s when the Cosby Show came out that the black family unit was represented once again. Clair Huxtable was important to me as a sitcom mom because it was somebody that I could identify with and someone who I kind of looked at in parallel with my own mother. You know, she was very successful, family orientated, attractive, you know, fun, energetic, and all the other things, you know, that you see in your own mom and sometimes wish that your mom would be. So I guess that kind of ties into what she represented to me then. You know, definitely a dominant matriarch in the sitcom world and in the black community. The podcast is about, I guess that would be our search for what would be considered an ideal mate, or searching for a mate or a woman that would be as close as we could get to the Clair Huxtable template.
She's a big part of the whole idea of what I think about when I think of a woman handling responsibilities, carrying herself well, interacting and engaging the family, but also engaging a mate with comedy and also challenging them to move on and be better. What's the podcast about? The podcast is the whole idea, searching for Clair Huxtable. So myself and also Maceo, we 80s babies. So the ideal woman, when we think about the woman to be with, is Clair Huxtable on whatever level that is. And when I say whatever level, that could be marriage, that could be dating, that could be kicking it with, and we explore all these different topics of what that means.
And we want to bring guests onto the show to get their insight of some of the opinions and challenges that women face in relationships, and also we want to give our input on some of the challenges that we face engaging women in our pursuit of Clair Huxtable.
What I want from the podcast is something that's cool, something engaging. I have a media company, so coming up with new content and new ways is great, but unlike a lot of other things that I've done with my Detroit is Different brand and what I've done with music and even my marketing company, this is the first time I really get to infuse just a lot of my thoughts unfiltered, but give a platform where I can use profanity if need be, but put it in the right context and talk to people the way that I interact with my friends. So I'm really opening up everybody that listens it to be a friend of mine and understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah. What do I want to get from it? I hope to gain knowledge, understanding. I want to understand a wider spectrum of opinion other than those that I engage with in my immediate circle. Exchange ideas, learn, grow, laugh, have fun, all of that good stuff. What do I want my listeners to get? Pretty much the same thing. I want them to enjoy the podcast. I want them to, I guess, travel on this journey with us. Learn as much as they can, laugh, have fun, get involved, even though we aren't necessarily communicating with them as they listen. But just engage, give us feedback. Participate in whatever medium that they have to engage us, and maybe one day they might end up being a guest on the show.
What do I want listeners to get from searching for Clair Huxtable is something to enjoy. Podcasts are great. I listen to so many podcasts from top to bottom about sports, about life, about philosophy, about history, Black history, American history, European history, war history, and this is one that provides a Black male's perspective of dating. And there are many different romance podcasts. And there's some that are for Black people. But I don't think it's one that stands alone where you have Black men expressing themselves socially, but also very honestly. We started our first episode by bringing on women that we dated. And that's one of the most honest things you can do. What do you expect guests to get from the podcast? I hope that guests have fun. I hope that they enjoy themselves, and I hope they come back, and I hope that they get more people to listen to what we're building, and it's something cool that they connect with.
From our guests, what do I expect from our guests? I expect our guests to be open, honest, forthcoming, opinionated, engaging. The list can go on. And I also want them to have fun, because there won't be any fun unless everyone has fun. I just wanted them to help this Clair Huxtable, vision grow. What do I expect from our co-host? Well, number one, I think that your co-host should be or is, the backbone or the other backbone. Part of the engine that makes this whole thing work and move. I expect my co-host to be just as engaging and opinionated as I am. I expect them to keep me on track, help me think, be objective, and I think I said opinionated once before, but yeah, I expect my co-host to bring to the table what I lack and help and encourage me to grow as a host.
What do I expect my co-host to do? Maceo, my co-host, is one of my closest homeboys for real, just real life, and you can even hear that when you listen to the podcast. So a lot of that connection and friendship, we're welcoming you into our friendship for years. He's like a big brother for me, and it's been like that for a long time. So what I expect from the co-host is to keep me on cue, and he's a heck of a writer, heck of a thinker, and also one of the people that's kept me laughing for years. So I expect my co-host to offer the friendship we have, and we'll share that with you all, and you all engage with it. And now, as people say, you're looking for a platonic friend, because I think it's going to be women that listen to this mostly. You got two friends for you. Thank you.
Anything that you would send. With all the people I know, I'm still a lonely man. It's funny.